Cleanup underway after a coal train derails near Knoxon.
Evacuees of the Lolo Peak fire take their displacement in stride.
And containment doubles on a major wildfire burning in Lincoln County.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Bray.
And I'm Jill Valley.
We start tonight with a breaking wildfire situation. Just in the past few minutes, a grass fire started in the Rattlesnake area of Missoula.
MTN's Kent Lutzen joins us now live from the scene with the latest. Kent, what is going on out there?
Thanks, Jill and Dennis. Emergency crews responded to a call just before 9 p.m. tonight after a fire broke out in the North Hills on the west side of the Rattlesnake. Nearby residents say it was a pretty scary moment, however, are thankful for the quick response of multiple crews across the valley. The fire is under control at this time, and crews across the valley are currently mopping it up. Reporting live in Missoula, Kent Lutzen, MTN News.
All right, Kent, thank you, and stay with KPAX Online for the latest. We'll have an update on this grass fire on Montana this morning. Firefighters are expressing relief for Sunday's rain and the cooler weather that moved in over the Lolo Peak fire.
But the fire's incident commander says it's not a time to become numb to the threat and risk from this 10,000-acre blaze. The 1-2 punch of strong outflow winds from thunderstorms Saturday night and then the arrival of a dry cold front Sunday had fire crews very worried. And the winds alone caused the Lolo Peak fire to claim more than 2 miles of additional timber Saturday night. That's why authorities decided to order an evacuation of homes along Lolo Creek. At the latest meeting in Lolo tonight, the fire's incident commander explained the cold front stalled over Idaho and the first rain in 46 days helped bring up the humidity and slow the fire spread. More of that weather is expected, although evacuation orders remain as a precaution.
For the next 2 or 3 days into the week, we're looking at humidities being up from what they were last week, 4 to 5%. That's a good thing. It'll be a little moister. Temperatures being down a few degrees, so it'll be a little cooler. We are going to be back into a westerly flow for wind.
And the next 2 days, crews, Jill, he explained, we're going to be working to create a kind of a plug using roads, fire trail, and burnouts to slow the fire spread there at Lolo Creek. Now, for the residents evacuated along Lolo Creek, there's no certainty of when they might be going home.
But as Kent Lutzen reports now, despite the stress, evacuees are taking their displacement in stride.
This is my home away from home at the moment.
Sheila Rupp, along with her closest neighbors, are trying to make the best of the situation by sticking together during this tough time. They say fire officials gave them plenty of warning, which has allowed them to make this comfortable arrangement.
Hello, neighbors. Well, I've had 30 days since the fire started July 15th. I've been able to see it out my back window. It's my backyard. So I've been keeping an eye on it, and I just felt led to go through my things, and so I started packing.
These neighbors are just a handful of families that were forced to leave their homes on Sunday morning. As the fire continues to burn, crews are doing their best to update evacuees as information comes out.
Now it's a day-to-day situation to where today, on Monday, we've now got southwesterly to westerly winds returning, so it's another afternoon of potential active fire behavior. The homes in Mill Creek and adjacent areas are still under threat from an advancing wildfire.
160 homes along Highway 12 between Bear Creek area and Fort Fizzle were told to evacuate their homes. Pre-evacuation notices remain in place tonight for approximately 140 homes along Highway 12 between Fort Fizzle and Balsam Road, portions of Mormon Creek Road, including Van Drive. All of this while fire crews continue to battle this blaze. These Chinook helicopters are actually dipping into the Lolo Creek right now, taking about 1,800 to 2,000 gallons of water back with them to help fight the Lolo Peak fire. With no clear end in sight and the Lolo Peak fire still burning, Sheila says the only thing she can do is stay positive.
There's nothing really I can do about it. It's all in God's hands, and it's all in the firemen, and it's all in their hands. And so it's still uneasy, but I have a place, I'm on power, I have my home, my husband, my child. I have whatever's precious, and that's most important is our lives.
In Lolo, Kent Lutzen, MTN News.
Now, we did see better air quality, cooler weather, and even a little rain over the weekend. We're still, though, dealing with extreme or very high fire danger, though, in western Montana. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost has a quick look at what's in store for us. Aaron.
You know, unfortunately, as quickly as this all got better, it's going to get worse again. We are just seeing a directional flow change, and that's made all the world of difference, don't get me wrong, but we are not done with the smoke yet. This view will likely be even worse by tomorrow and even more so by the end of this week. This is downtown Hamilton, our First Security Bank iCam. I wish I had better news for you, I'm sorry. We are seeing a southwesterly flow today, hence some of those nice conditions that we saw out there, but that flow direction will change. It'll be more westerly, more zonal over the next few days, and we do have the potential for a couple of windy days in the extended forecast. I've got all those details coming up.
Crews are scrambling to clear the railroad tracks after a coal train derailment west of Knoxon.
MTN's Eric Clemens was at the scene today, and he has more on the derailment.
Approximately 30 train cars hauling coal spilled off the tracks in a train derailment just west of Knoxon Sunday night. It happened at around 11 p.m. and as you can see, cleanup efforts are still underway. Tractors bang and clatter, kicking up clouds of black dust as crews scramble to salvage as much coal as possible. The grinding screech of metal on metal fills the air as damaged cars are scraped from the track. Jim Lewis, a spokesperson for Montana Rail Link, says no one was hurt in the derailment and that no cars were hauling hazardous material, though it's unknown just how much coal may have spilled into the Clark Fork River. Onlookers had a clear view of the wreckage pulling off Highway 200 and snapping photos of the scene. And folks recreating on the water didn't seem too perturbed by the situation. Clearly, the train derailment doesn't affect boating. In Knoxon, Eric Clements, MTN News.
In addition to the cleanup, MRL is investigating the cause of the derailment. Cooler temperatures and more humid air near Eureka proved to be an asset for firefighters taking on the 1,900-acre Gibraltar Ridge fire. Officials announcing tonight that over the past 24 hours, fire crews doubled the containment from 6 to 12%.
Right now the wind is cooperating, so we haven't had that many spot fires over the last 2 days. That's that break that Mother Nature gave us to allow firefighters to get in there and really start buttoning this area up.
Residents were briefed on the latest at the Gibraltar fire. A meeting tonight at Lincoln County High School. Not only is the fire being pushed back, but as of noon today, residents that were forced to evacuate their homes last week now get to go back home. Western Montana Incident Management Team PIO Haley Graff says this is a big win, but both crews and residents still need to be on the lookout.
This is a pretty big win for everyone involved in the fire. It means a lot to the residents to be able to get back into their homes, check on them, make sure everything's okay, water their gardens, feed their cats, do things like that. But the fire is still posing some threat, so we've left the whole area under pre-evacuation still, so that if anything does go wrong or we get a wind event that would force people to evacuate again, they still need to be prepared for that.
Meanwhile, in Seeley Lake, favorable weather conditions are helping firefighters on the Rice Ridge fire. Reports today detail they're using strategic firing operations in the coming days. That's to secure that uncontrolled fire edge by burning off fuel. Officials report that except for the Swamp Creek drainage, there wasn't much fire growth yesterday. The pre-evacuation notice for residents along Highway 83 in the Seeley area remains in effect. The American Red Cross has a shelter in Potomac in case it's needed. Residents being encouraged to sign up for Smart 11 with Missoula County to ensure they receive any emergency messages about potential evacuations.
Missoula County authorities lift the pre-evacuation warning in the area of the Liberty Fire. This 5,000-acre fire is burning in the Jocko Lakes area between Arlee and Seeley Lake. The pre-evacuation order had been in place for residents living in the North and South Placid Lake area. Firefighters will continue to monitor the fire and work on line improvements. Officials note the lightning-sparked blaze has not moved east of its current position at Bowles Meadow since July 30th. The closest uncontrolled fire perimeter is more than 9 miles away from Placid Lake. Fire managers say the 300-acre Tamarack fire burning in northwest Montana did not see a lot of growth or activity today. A Type 2 Northern Rockies Incident Command team run by Diane Hutton will take over management of the fire tomorrow at 6 in the morning. This is the fire that's located in remote terrain between Kalispell and Libby on a mix of private, state, and Forest Service land. This fire was started by a lightning storm on Friday night. It was first detected early Saturday morning. Officials say no structures are threatened by this fire. You can find reports on all of the fires burning in western Montana on our website, tracking all that information for you on air, online, on Facebook and Twitter, and with the KPAX mobile app.
Still ahead, how long is this slightly cooler weather going to stick around? Aaron has the answer coming up. Plus, the president denounces hate and bigotry, but did his sentiments settle all that criticism?
And later in the show, thousands gather in California to recognize what makes furry feline friends